Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
The suit regarding change therapy in California goes to a hearing tomorrow. We're going to be talking about it today on Faith and Freedom. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, the vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Now, this issue of change therapy goes to court tomorrow. I'll be in California in the Sacramento Federal Court. And for those who haven't been following this bill was signed by the governor and goes into effect January 1, 2013 in California. And it says that counselors cannot provide any counsel that would seek to eliminate or reduce same-sex sexual attractions. They can only provide counsel that actually affirms those attractions as good. So they can only provide one viewpoint, but not the viewpoint of eliminating or reducing same-sex attractions. And individual minors can't receive counseling, even though they want to have counseling so that they wouldn't act on unwanted same-sex sexual attractions. They can't even receive that effective January 1. So that's the issue tomorrow in this federal court. We're asking the federal judge to enjoin or stop the implementation of this law because we only have about 30 days before this time when it goes actually into effect.
Yeah, this is a cynical political ploy, this law intended really to attack in both individuals' sexual self-determination, their sexual choices, their personal choices, and also, again, as you mentioned, Matt, to completely chop the legs out from under parents and young people who wish to actually work toward resolving their deeply held religious faith with these unwanted same-sex attractions. It's really a shameless thing that they're doing, and I'm really glad that we're going to be able to have a good shot of stopping.
Well, we ask that you pray for this case because it's a significant case. It's huge in its implications because, for example, if this thing goes into effect on January 1, 2013, if we don't get the injunction in the court to stop the implementation of this law, that means on January 1 or January 2, anytime after that, our clients, for example, the minor young boys that we represent and their parents, they will not be able to get the kind of counseling that's been helping them. One of them has been in counseling for a year and a half and loves the counseling that he's receiving with Dr. Joseph Nicolosi. And the parents have indicated in their affidavit, and the son has done as well, is that there has been some issues within the family dynamic. And this young boy ultimately began to have identity issues, question his own masculinity, and begin to have same-sex attractions. He confided into his parents. He did not want those same-sex attractions. He does not want to act on them, has not acted on them, wants to identify not with those attractions, but with his Christian beliefs that ultimately informs him that same-sex behavior is not right. And so he's been getting this counseling. He's not acted on his same-sex attractions, his masculinity, his anxiety, all of these different things that have been plaguing him have started to resolve. The relationship with his parents is becoming much better. And now if this goes into effect in January, all that counseling will stop. He'll be then confused because the counseling has to flip the other way and say, you know what, the problem's not with your same-sex attractions. Those are natural and normal. You ought to just pursue that. Let's work on your religious convictions. It's the religious convictions, your biblical beliefs that are the problem. We've got to work on changing those to match your same-sex sexual attractions.
And of course, that's the socio-political end game here that the left is trying to do with this. It's not really about helping individuals and helping people who are same-sex attracted. It's about silencing any disagreement with those positions, or even a position that says there's anything wrong with those positions, even if a person internally holds and believes that there's something wrong with those attractions. But Matt, you've pointed out on a number of occasions that it does much more than this. It's really A second violation of, in instances as you've used as an example, the Jerry Sandusky sexual assaults of young boy after young boy after young boy. Well, we know study after study shows that a lot of people who end up being same-sex attracted, boys particularly, it's because they were sexually abused by an older male. This violates them again.
Yeah, and what you ultimately see is that if you have somebody like Jerry Sandusky comes over and he violates some young boy and has sexual relations with that young boy, that young boy can begin to have identity issues and wonder who he is, how he fits in, anger, self-hurt, deprecation, and then begin to come through that process and want to act out the same thing that he was victimized by in terms of this sexual act, but doesn't want to do that, is conflicted. So this young boy goes to a counselor and says, I'm starting to have these same-sex sexual attractions. I don't want them. I don't identify. I don't believe that I'm homosexual. Don't want to act in that way. And by the way, my religious convictions inform me the opposite, and that's my priority in my life. Well, under this particular bill, the counselor won't be able to say, those same-sex attractions, let's work on those. They're not normal. They're not natural. Let's work on some building dynamics within your relationships. They'll have to say, what's your problem? You shouldn't be concerned about that. It's normal. It's just a natural thing. Let's modify your religious conviction. That's what the issue is. That is completely a political issue that has no basis in the science or the studies or the research or in reality. In fact, they will acknowledge that there are reported benefits from people who have been counseled. And they can't deny people who have engaged in homosexual behavior and who have stopped engaging in that homosexual behavior. And they live happy and productive lives, and they're satisfied with themselves. They want to just pretend that they don't exist. So this is just a political ploy to push a very radical homosexual agenda.
Well, and even the American Psychiatric Association, which is really and more has become a political activist organization, but even they have had to admit, I guess, to try to hold on to some level of credibility, that there are varying stages of satisfaction with all the way from a complete removal of unwanted same-sex attractions all the way down the continuum with people having success from change therapy. They can't deny that. They can't give specific really examples or any proof that there's any harm that comes from this. The APA doesn't really accept them. They'll even say, well, there are anecdotal instances of people saying they feel like they've been harmed by same-sex therapy, but it's,
they'll say, they'll say maybe there's an anecdote. And in fact, in one of the affidavits in the case, the expert for the state of California says, they're anecdotal information, anecdotal. I mean, this is not scientific, where somebody has gone through counseling and they say, well, they feel more shameful now because they still have these same-sex attractions and they've been taught or told by the counselor that they're wrong. So now they feel more shame. And so that's the harm. And so they extrapolate this anecdotal issue and say, well, everybody, this is a harmful process because you might shame some people. The fact of the matter is, if you look at any area of counseling, is any area of counseling 100% effective?
Of course not. Yeah.
No, it's not.
You're going to have anecdotal instances of failure in areas of counseling in any area.
Yeah. So just because some counseling doesn't work, and it's not going to certainly work for everyone in every situation, doesn't mean that you all of a sudden say, oh, all this entire counseling is gone. And it's not the entire counseling that's gone. They're saying you can counsel on same-sex attractions, but only if you affirm them as good.
Yeah.
You can't say that you ought to stop or eliminate those.
Think about that for a sec, Matt. The victim of a Jerry Sandusky type homosexual pedophile predator never had same-sex attractions in their life, abused over and over again. They go to the therapist and say, now suddenly I'm having these same-sex attractions. Well, first of all, they can't say, well, you were born that way. Well, that derails that whole argument. Now this counselor has to ignore the elephant in the room, this sexual abuse that occurred that caused these unwanted same-sex attractions, has to ignore that and instead affirm really the abuse that took place because that led to these unwanted same-sex attractions. They say we're engaging in quackery. The quackery, the unscientific side of things is on their side of things.
No question about it. Keep us in prayer. Tomorrow in California, in Sacramento, I and other attorneys with our Liberty Counsel legal team will be in the federal court. We'll be arguing this case. We may get word very soon from the court about this injunction. We're asking for the court to stop the implementation of this law. Time is of the essence. Pray for this case. You can also help support Liberty Counsel and our cause, especially at this time of the year. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org. You can contribute online with credit card, or you can go to the website, and the address is right there. You can support Liberty Counsel with a year-end gift. And Liberty Counsel has all kinds of ways to accept year-end gifts, whether it's cash or check or credit card, property, or other kinds of stocks. All of those are available. You can call Liberty Counsel's website or Liberty Counsel's phone number, 800-671-1776, 800-671-1776, or go to the website, lc.org. You can also order this book, Sexual Sabotage, right there from the website by Dr. Judith Reisman. It is a worth-read book. Go to Liberty Counsel's website today, lc.org.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.